It's time for the shop report with
Barbershop J.
What up, sports fans? Welcome to the Shop Report. I'm Barbershop Jay. I'll be your host for the day. Here's what's happening. Of course, we want to remind you the Shop Report is brought to you by Rocket Digital Media. It's the one-stop shop for all your digital marketing needs. You can look them up on Facebook at RDM Detroit, 1D, 2E Detroit, or you can slide on over to the website, rocketdigital.net. That's ROCKIT digital.net. Make sure when you're there, while you're there, you tell them the BSJ sent you. And for my folk out there in TV land, if you want to leave your questions or comments during today's program, by all means, please do so. We will throw it up on the screen, and y'all know what's coming next. If you're one of them folks who wants to leave a question or comment that's indignant or ignorant in nature, it won't be seen on this screen. Matter of fact, here's what you'll get.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
With that being said, joining me on the program today is my cat from up north, Joey James, a.k.a. Double J. Tell the people what you say.
Well, absolutely. And so, Cleveland has not gotten the credit that I believe it deserves in terms of innovation.
Okay, well,
And
mind you all, this is a
innovation-
Detroit person talking about Cleveland's innovations, but go ahead.
So Cleveland, of course, as I've talked about on a previous show intro, was responsible for Balloon Day, right?
Oh, yeah, that was, okay, I got you. Yeah, and they was
And
also
now-
responsible for 10-cent beer night, too.
Yeah, that's right. And that is where I'm
Okay.
going with this.
Okay, yeah, who
10-cent
thought?
beer night in June 4th, 1974. The Cleveland
You weren't even, were you
Indians.
born then? Were you born?
I was 13 years shy of
Your
walking
35th
around.
birthday? Oh, wow, okay, got you, yeah.
So, of course, it sounded like a great idea. This is, as our host can attest, it was during one of the earlier rough patches in economic history in
Yes.
the Rust Belt. So that was the idea, to get folks to come out and spend a day at the ballpark and be able to essentially have a good time while doing so. And just like the future Balloon Day, it went it fell short of expectations.
I'm sure it did,
Boom.
but it didn't. 10-cent beer night. Yeah. Oh, my bad. You need a button? Sorry, I don't have one. I'll give you this one.
So
Yeah.
this led to they were selling so many. It was such a success that they had to actually pull the truck in, the beer truck itself, to start serving this stuff because they couldn't keep up.
Oh my
It
goodness.
led
I'm
to
surprised. I'm not surprised.
a
It wasn't
middle-aged
Anheuser-Busch,
woman.
was it? Just saying.
A middle-aged woman bared her stuff.
Oh, wow.
and
No,
tried
stop
to kiss
it.
the
Oh
umpire.
my gosh.
A
my
few
gosh.
men
The return of Morgana.
decided to try to play, their right field, and then also father and son had mooned fans from the bleachers, and then of course,
What game were you at?
This is all on 10-cent beer night.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I tried to throw you off a little bit there. Ask what game were you at? Yeah. We didn't need the details. Oh my gosh.
So ultimately, it did lead to that they were antagonized. The fans were antagonized by the Texas Rangers,
Yeah.
and it led to made the Malice at the Palace seem like child's
Yeah, it was
play.
kids play. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, and so and to the point where the Cleveland team actually had to fight with Texas.
To fight the fans. Yeah,
It was very much a scene from Major League. Like, they wrote the script for that from this
exactly.
night.
Exactly. You didn't
which is
know?
incredible for those who don't know, right? Because that's just a gem of a movie. I've had the ability, the opportunity to meet Skip, who
He was the
again,
manager, I believe, wasn't he?
no. This was the Bob Euchre's sidekick. Yep.
Yeah, yeah,
Monty,
yeah.
as his character name was. So I've had the pleasure of meeting him in Central Illinois at some event years and years ago. And so again, the legacy of that film will live on potentially, but the origins of that film are highly rooted in this real
10
event
cent.
that took
Yes,
place.
that took place. Yeah, but I mean, shout out to you for doing a little bit of research, and looking up, doing a little history lesson, whatever it is. I mean, which I keep encouraging all the young folk to do, or whatever it is. If you want to know what's happening today, go back and look at yesterday, and you see how far you done got, so to speak. Right quick before we even get into today's topics or whatever, I just want to again remind the folks out there that today, Sundays at 12 p.m. we start. We're gonna try to carry you all into the NFL season, try to get you out of here, get you all out of here by 1:00 kickoff time or whatever it is. We thought that'd be a nice little addendum, us coming on and then NFL football. I mean, don't get no better than that, right? Not to pat ourselves on the back or nothing. So for all of you all that's still trying to catch up with us, again, we appreciate all those who follow and support us with all these ever so roller coaster type changes. But again, we appreciate y'all. Just stay with us. Bigger things are yet to come. You know what I mean? One day at a time is like what I like to say. But yeah, no question, man. The movie Major League, and again, once again, this is not a shout out to you for stealing the thunder that you always do. This is why I say in the Discord thread, if you all want to come up with some show topics, by all means, please do so, because that was going to be next week's Real Talk. Top 5 sports movies of all time, and not of all time, but top 5 sports movies or whatever it is, and you just ruined it by you just ruined it as you always do. Just ruined it as you always do, because now that we're here and we're on the subject, might as well cancel that topic for next edition of the program. But yeah, Major League is definitely definitely top 5. Moneyball, believe it or not, is in my top 5, and as is
Whoa.
Three of
so
my.
wait a minute. So all I said was that, hey, this is a gem of a film, right? That has the potential.
Yeah, but you didn't. But you said everything else to go along with it.
No,
you did.
I may have.
You talking about Skip to my Lou, my dog Skip, Skippy, happy peanut butter. Yeah, you just skipping along right there.
But then you jump into. So first, for those watching, of course,
yeah, settle down.
I had no idea of next week's show.
Of course not, because this is what I do. I'm impromptu.
So then
it's okay with me if it's okay with you.
That. But then he decides to start going on even further in this list. We still don't even know. You said top 5 films of all time?
I said top 5 sports films. Or sports type. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you killed it already.
Now
Paging
there's a
Mrs.
chart
Alva.
I wanted to pull up for you.
Oh, boy, here we go. Oh, did you?
I have what you were asking for. I do.
Okay, good.
This
is
separate from that, and at some point, maybe we'll get to it.
Is it already in the studio already? Because I didn't even look to see.
No, I haven't put it in there. It's
okay,
waiting.
Good. Oh, really?
So basically, what it is you
didn't put it in there yet?
No.
Emotional damage.
Unbelievable. This guy right here. You didn't put it in there yet. Okay. Yeah, Paging Mrs. Alva.
Basically, speaking of sports films, what this did is it's a list. And you have to pick your trio.
Wait a minute. This is what you do, man. It don't matter if it's Sunday afternoon or Wednesday night. This is what you do. This is what you come on. Oh man, this is unbelievable.
I'm telling you.
Okay, well then where's it at?
Well, I will get it for you right now.
Oh boy, here we go. So there's no need to even do real talk today, right? Because we're doing it now.
We got the other one. We got the other one ready to roll whenever you say so.
Okay, well then, could you hold off? All right. What? Just hold off for a second. You're not supposed to do that. We're supposed to be doing two topics.
Well, all I gave was an intro, and then you said it was next week's show.
Oh yeah. Anywho, three of my top 5 sports movies of all time actually happen to be baseball or centered around or oriented. Yeah. The Sandlot, no question. That's my number 1.
Well, wait a minute. Aren't you?
The Sandlot, Moneyball, and Major League. What are you talking about? And I'll give my other 2 maybe 25 years from now. Who knows?
Of all time?
Of the ones of the sports movies that I've seen, yes.
Okay.
And then Passing Glory. You're not even hip to Passing Glory, are you?
I can't say that I am.
Oh my gosh, man. Oh my, yeah, let's start the show. All right, our first item on the menu, obviously, as I just mentioned here, and this Double J so eloquently just, bombard the whole program here early on, is Real Talk. All right. And the subject of today's Real Talk, as in movies, cinema, theater, things of that nature. Top 5 male actors in action or / drama movies. Now, here's what's interesting. You all might be surprised who's not on my list. And if you want, I can go first. Matter of fact, I will go first. Okay.
You should.
And speaking of movies, right quick, let me just say right here. Took the children and we went to see Fast 10.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, terrible.
Well, what did you expect?
I didn't expect terrible. Oh, it was, oh my gosh. And then they had the nerve. It's going to be 2 more.
What do you mean?
This one was the first part. Yes, this was the Fast 10 I'm trying to listen. I lied for you before I wouldn't tell you. You know this already, man.
Oh,
This is what I'm trying to tell you, man. From my understanding, this was the first of 3 parts, even though this was the last movie. Where did that make sense at?
Oh, hell no.
Absolutely not. It don't. Excuse me, y'all. Yeah. But anyway, that movie was terrible. But anywho, my top 5 male actors in an action or / drama type movie. Mm-hmm. Tom Cruise. All the Mission Impossible.
Wait. Is there an order? Are you going in order?
Yeah, I'm going in. I'm just listing them. I don't necessarily have to have an order. Excuse me. Let me take a sip. H2O oxygenes, baby. Tom Cruise, all the Mission Impossibles, and Jack Reachers. Jason Statham, in particular,
really?
Transport. Oh, absolutely.
Hey, now Transporter 2 was my personal favorite out of the group.
I'm all the Transporters and Parker. Okay.
Yeah.
He's starting a few other ones that were just.
What was the one with the remember he had Crank? There you go. There was
another, that was terrible.
That was a wild.
That was the worst one, to tell you the truth. Of course, you would remember that one. I can only imagine for what scenes. Anywho, Ben Affleck. In particular,
Ben Affleck.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Affleck.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ben Affleck, in particular, The Accountant and Reindeer Games.
I don't know.
What? Say, I wish you.
I
wish you would say
well,
it.
go ahead. It's your list. Keep going.
Okay, and then Leonardo DiCaprio, The Departed, and then Gangs of New York. Now, guess who's not on my list? You want to know who's not on my list?
Well, there's a whole lot to choose from. Yeah, absolutely.
In particular,
but who's your honorable mention? Go ahead. Who's the honorable?
I don't have
mention?
honorable mention. Well, I guess I should have did an honorable mention. Huh? You think? My honorable mention, or actually, they're honorable mention, but they're not on my list of 5. Obviously, Denzel and Will Smith.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, makes his list null and void. The fact that at least one of those 2 is not on it is a crime almost.
Stop.
He may be wanted in Los Angeles County. Bro Rich will be able to let us know.
I ain't worried about. Oh, shout out to my man Bro Rich out there. He's still making the movie, man. This movie, when it come out, I'll be glad when it come out, man, because I should have been in it. Okay, just saying, be rich. You know what I'm saying? Holla at your boy.
Now wait a minute. He had me. I literally had a acting resume that was comparable to a 15-year-old looking for their first job at a fast food restaurant near you, and
You might have been a little bit
trying
better
to
off
get in
doing
there.
fast food.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
saying.
Well, hey, if you're waiting, I'm in line with you.
Yeah.
Maybe one day,
Yeah, Sonic.
maybe.
And out burgers. I don't know. 15 guys. I'm just saying.
Oh,
All right. That's how many it
family
seems like.
show.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Gather yourself, will you? Unbelievable. But anyway, who are your top 5?
Oof. Again, in no particular order. I'm gonna give Sly a little love here.
Oh, please. Why? For the Expendables? I knew you was getting ready to do that.
First of all,
Stop it.
someone needed to do something like that, and I'm glad he was capable of getting all of them into a film like that. But of course, naturally, the Rocky movies. I too would also be in agreement with you as it pertains to Tom Cruise. Um, I will go. Um, mm, mm,
Is this where I cue the Jeopardy music?
No, it's more so.
Yeah.
I want to go with. I'm going to go Bruce Willis.
Oh, wow. Really?
And then this one's going to make you upset.
Although I will say, they did 2 renditions and they were both excellent to me. Red.
Yeah, great movie. Great
Yeah,
film.
they both were. Yeah. I can see that, Bruce. Okay, that's one.
Yeah.
You still got 40 more to go.
No, we're almost done here.
Okay.
I will give the love that you should have to Denzel, just for obvious reasons, because that's just insulting. And then you know what? I'm going to go with the lowest hanging fruit because he's done it, and we're going to give him his flowers while he's still here, Clint Eastwood, and end it. There we go. That's
please. So it's not even 5. You say Clint Eastwood makes up for 3 people by himself. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, if I want to throw an honorable mention in there, we'll go. Oof. You know what? I'm going to throw a funny one in there because this is going to bother you. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Oh my! I knew you. You just couldn't.
You hate Bloodsport, and I know you.
Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! What about Jet Li or Jackie Chan?
Certainly, I would say more so Jackie Chan than Jet Li. He had, to me, he kind of set the table for Jet Li.
Yeah, there was a movie Jackie Chan was in, and it's called.
Talking like early 90s.
No, right? I'm talking about even before the end.
Hmm.
I remember I was about maybe 7 or 8. Jackie Chan's been around forever.
Oh yeah, long time.
Long time. It's called The Big Brawl. The Big Brawl. Yes, one of the most. I'm talking about martial arts films. Oh my gosh! See, that's what I was starting to do with this whole real talk thing. Break it down specifically, like top 5 martial arts films, top 5 in football films, or top 5 sports films, whatever. Now maybe you could do baseball, basketball type of deal, whatever. If there are 5, at least 5 or more than 5, or whatever the case may be. But of course, you had to come on here and within the first 5 minutes spoil all of that. But yeah, Jackie Chan. If you all haven't seen that movie, you should probably go check that out. If you're a martial arts person too, The Big Brawl is excellent. And then Sonny Chiba, I forget Sonny Chiba, some of his films. Wow. Yeah, do you know who Sonny Chiba is? Yes, Sonny Chiba. Yeah, then Jim Kelly, and then of course Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee is, if not for Ip Man, Bruce Lee is no question. What do we have? What am I looking at here?
Well, this leads into your sports, but specifically basketball, because not only are we talking about iconic basketball films with this chart here, but you have to pick 3.
Okay, let's see what we got here. All right, let's see what we got here.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh
iconic-
my gosh, I saw this. Oh, this is terrible.
What do you mean it's terrible?
This is terrible.
Who's your 3? If we're going 3-on-3 here, you're the sub or coach.
First of all, Kyrie. When did Kyrie? What movie was he in?
Uncle Drew.
That was really a movie.
Yeah, I think
a short film, maybe.
I was gonna say I think Clutch actually produced that.
All right, give me. I gotta pick 3.
That's right.
Give me Uncle Drew, Shuttlesworth, Jesus, and Bugs Bunny. And
I was going to say,
I'm going Bugs Bunny, baby. I'm trying to
really?
Absolutely, it's no question.
Now you watched him in that movie, right?
In what movie?
In Space Jam.
Oh, man, Bugs Bunny was what you mean? Bugs Bunny is an icon. He's been around since.
Yeah, but you're talking about a 3-on-3 game here.
Give me Bugs Bunny. I'm telling you right now, off the rip, baby.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. You asked me which 3. You can't. I picked 3, and then you
I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Oh, unbelievable.
Unbelievable. My.
Oh, go right quick. We should have a few more people joining us here shortly. You know, it's kind of tough for some folks to get up after a Saturday night. You know what I mean? To get up early on Sunday. All right, shout out to them people who's out there ski ruggling, baby. Yeah, give me Bugs Bunny. What's the deal? What you got to say there?
I'm a little disbelief. I will totally agree with you on the younger Shuttlesworth there. However,
who are you picking? Air Bud?
Absolutely. You are.
Oh, hold on. Wait a minute.
If anyone embodies the words that are made iconic, or the phrase that was made iconic by Mr. LeVar Ball with "never lost," the name is Air Bud, not Air Jordan. Air Bud has never lost. And you try taking that ball from him, and you will see what happens on that old 90s show, When Animals Attack.
Oh, my gosh. You should have kept that. Did you really just sit up here trying to make a case for Air Bud, but then going to downplay Bugs Bunny? And Bugs Bunny is the same
Bugs
dude
Bunny
who be
was
on both sides of the screen
by the
at the same
Monstars.
time.
Okay? There's a reason that Air Bud was not recruited for that film.
Yeah, it's the reason why. Yeah, because he kept pooping all over the set. I'm just saying. Okay, nobody got time to be paid in security every 5 seconds.
Air
and
Bud, not only that, you remember, hang on a second. Air Bud arguably should be included in that list that we just previously made, because Air Bud himself has been in multi-action films, playing nearly every sport, okay, and has been successful. So move over, Rover.
Okay. Yeah.
And
I don't care.
If
I don't care what to say.
Bo knows.
Oh, stop.
And so does Dion, that there is only one truly universal. Now, you talked about athlete versus a good specific player. Okay. That is Air Bud.
Yeah, got you. I mean, you make a compelling argument, but guess what? Overruled.
Unbelievable.
Overruled.
I cannot believe this.
Yeah, you should believe it. This is BSJ, baby, that's talking to you right now, coming live here on this microphone.
Hang on a second. Air Bud with Shuttlesworth, and we'll go Sydney here. That's
you know
over.
why? Because
it's
you're in
over.
love with stop. You're in love with the 3-ball. Air Bud is camped out on the perimeter.
Me?
Man,
no.
Bugs Bunny is everywhere. Trust and believe. And listen, and that little comment you made about him being in Space Jam, it was the reason why he was distracted. Did you see Mrs. Bunny? I mean, what'd you expect? How you expect a guy to drop 40
but look at now.
night?
So now we're talking about, remember, these are attributes. These are attributes here. So awareness, His awareness, low.
Oh, wow. Really?
Air Bud, on the other hand,
Oh,
you know,
okay.
like, oh, you know, you don't have no dog whistles needed.
Oh, wow. Imagine that. And with that being said, we're going to take a 30-second commercial break. We're going to do a little bit sooner than we normally do. Yeah, this is what we got to do. We got to get out of here. Unbelievable.
It's Kate Cunningham, and you're watching The Shop Report.
It's Chris Murray, and you're watching The Shop Report.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching The Shop Report.
You're Jay Knight, you're watching The Shop Report.
Hey guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching The Shop Report.
I'm Harvey Diallo, and you're watching The Shop Report.
Commander Brown, Detroit Roosevelt Training, and I'm watching The Shop Report.
Barbershop Jay, Quentin Hyatt, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
Yeah, so that's what we might do. We are back. Yeah, we might just do a top 5 sports films here and there and then get real specific about it. Right quick, I did want to mention, even though it wasn't a part of today's subject topics or whatever the case may be, finally, shout out to Spence and Crawford.
Oh,
Finally, but guess what? I don't care if it's signed and done. I don't care about none of that. I will not believe it until I see them two dudes in the ring.
they have nowhere else to go.
Listen, here's what's going to happen. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to get closer to fight day, and somebody's going to break an arm, God forbid, or somebody's going to twist a knuckle. I'm just saying this. Come on. Listen. Okay, listen. And so is what I'm saying far-fetched?
Yes. At this stage.
Why?
Because 2 years ago, 3 years ago, you're absolutely right. They did everything in their power.
But have we not seen this happen before? Two guys who we thought were going to fight didn't fight because right at the last minute, some guy injured his elbow.
That was synonymous with like maybe Pacquiao and Mayweather. But
my man, shout out to my man Gully weighing in. He should be joining us a little bit. He said the same. He's saying my sentiments exactly. He's saying right here and now, yeah, I'm losing interest in the fight altogether. Me too.
Well, and he's absolutely right that you have that even kind of I would say further emphasizes the point that it's got to be now.
Okay, because all right, excuse me, if it's not now, then what? Okay, we got another comment rolling in here. Oh boy, he's weighing in again. Gully is. He said it's more stale than a bag of chips that I left in my car on the drive to Virginia. Oh my God.
Gully, hang on a second.
I don't want to know about his drive to Virginia.
Why? Why is it stale now?
Because I can answer that for you. Because timing is everything. Listen, what Spence and Crawford, in my opinion, what it's starting to look like. Or it's already went down. It's going down that road. Different. The only thing different, excuse me. The only thing different is the players involved. Manny. Oh boy, let me give myself a button. Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. They followed basically the same script. We were supposed to see it. And I forget whatever year it was. And it was going to be at Jerry's World, one of the largest venues for a boxing match ever at the time would have been. And the hype surrounding it and the timing of that hype, it was no better time for that fight to take place. Then what happened? I don't even know. I don't really recall, to be honest with you. But I know something threw a monkey wrench in it. When they were well underway to getting closer and closer to the date we got the fight date, then that fight was called off. And then it took us another, 2 years before we actually saw it? Then they had the nerve to charge $99,000 for the fight. With all due respect to the combatants, the names especially, Manny and Floyd, we get it, big draw names. But the fight itself, man, please, man, it was an overgrown sparring match. That's all it was, man. It was terrible. It was terrible, man. Y'all made us wait all of that time for that. That Manny Pacquiao Floyd Mayweather fight that cost, once again, $99 million did not put you in the mind frame or mindset or of Thriller in Manila. No Hearns Duran, No, none of that. And I'm not comparing the fighters. I'm saying if we have two marquee names, then what you give me in the fight got to live up to some of that. It's got to be. And Gully weighing in again, he's saying here, I understand maybe a year delay when they became necessary for each other. Exactly.
Now, wait a minute. Hang on. And this is where I'm going to throw this out here. There was a point in time, remember, where Sean Porter was kind of like almost a third wheel in all of this. Right? When all of us, I believe, should agree. So what you had to really take into account was, could they have fought within the last 3 years? The answer is absolutely yes, like a resounding yes. However,
No. Let me take out could and put in should. They should have fought.
But when you
minutes ago,
remember, in terms of, I want to say, who was it? With Spence, he fought Cal Brook in 2020. I
believe so. I believe so.
Then fought Porter, either prior or just before, or either before or shortly after. Then in 21, that's when Porter fought, of course, Crawford. And we needed to see that too. So again, we had to get Porter really officially out of the way.
Spence didn't fight Crawford yet. What are you talking about?
No. They fought Porter.
Okay.
Porter.
Okay. So here's the thing. I'm gonna get to your comments here in a second. Okay, let me throw that out there at you because I was talking to our boxing analyst, Mr. Tariq Abdul Rahman. Shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just talking to
him. Now,
did
you say? Oh, okay. All right.
And he said we were talking about Styles making fights. Excuse me. So that's the going tagline. Everybody wants to use Styles make fights. I get it. That's cute to say. And in some cases, all right, there's some validity. But what I said to him is, you can't necessarily say what this guy did against that guy, he'll do it because he did it against that guy, he'll do it to the other guy. Does that make sense? So he was making mention that when Spence fought Porter, what Bud did to Porter is more telling than what Spence did to Porter. Because Bud dropped Porter, he made you would think if in other words, if you're saying what Bud did to Porter versus what Spence did to Porter, that will give Bud if you think that's why Bud would win against Spence, okay, I guess. He said, but what hadn't happened, what Spence hadn't done, or something to that effect, is that I forget what he said, doggone it, and I'm just threw it out here. Something about he hadn't been knocked down twice or something like that. Or he had, no. They stopped the fight. Sean Porter's dad stopped the fight. And Sean had never been stopped up to that point. And he's saying, you got to take that into account because that's not something Spence could do. When Spence fought Porter, wasn't no stoppage. When Crawford fought Porter, it was a stoppage. I'm just saying. It weighs something. Hold on, let me get to this comment. Yeah, give it some thought right there. Gully saying again, the pandemic is the only excuse I give for this delay and the car accident. But they fight. Should have happened before then. Yeah, should have happened before now. Exactly. I'm with you on that all day. That's my point. Exactly. So you're over there mauling it.
Yes, I am. And it's because I think it wasn't ideal, wasn't perfect. And again, there were clearly some variables that you just mentioned that were.
But how much does the stoppage weigh?
Because we've seen him lose a few times now.
He who?
That being,
Porter?
Yep.
Okay.
Is
it that he lost or is it how he lost?
That's just it.
To each fighter that's getting ready to fight.
It does matter. I will be the first to say it does matter, because if you recall, I want to say that Spence only won. That was a split decision, wasn't it?
Oh, you got me. I don't know, Gully. If you're still out there, he would probably know more about
Because,
that.
so again, here's why. Look, right away when you're talking about not even unanimous decision. So first of all, one fight was stopped.
Okay.
The other one goes the distance. And if memory serves me correct, it was a split decision.
Okay.
Those are night and day.
You talking about, what do you mean night and day? You mean unanimous versus split?
No. Split versus the fight being stopped altogether.
So you saying it was Spence and Porter and Crawford that was split?
No, Spence
and Porter was split. Ooh.
And this is why I continued to really reiterate the role that Sean Porter had in all of this being able to take place. And at one point, Mikey Garcia as well, because obviously Spence beat him.
Yeah, but Mikey Garcia should have never got in the ring with him, man. He should have never got in the ring. Mikey Garcia is, he's an all right fighter, but Mikey Garcia is not. He's not. Yeah, no. They tried to bill it as top billing, but that's about it. Yeah, it didn't do. I don't think it did well at the box office either, quote unquote. Yeah, it couldn't have. Yeah, it couldn't have, and it didn't. I don't know. At the end of the day, man, I won't believe it until I see it. I'm telling you right now. I don't care what. Okay, so they finally signed. Big deal. Signage guarantees that there will be a fight. Excuse me. In July. But we got from the time they put pen to paper, and then here's another thing. Both of the guys, I give them credit. They're both promoting this fight. So that's a plus too. But until they get in the ring, this is boxing now we're talking. Okay? Boxing has been known for its unscrupulousness. Say that fast 2 times. Since they've been scrapping. Man, I don't trust nothing until these two guys get in the ring, man. I don't. I'm sorry. Hey, for me, it's like the little boy who cried wolf. You might get me once and you might get me twice, but the third time, I'm not getting up out the barber chair, man. You got me up out this barber seat to come help you save your sheep, and you was playing games. And you know my motto and my line, to tell you the truth. First time you're a victim. Anytime after that, you're a volunteer. And I'm not signing up for it, pal. Not doing it.
Can I ask a worthwhile question? Because I brought up Pacquiao.
Wait. Did you say Earthwhile?
Worthwhile.
Wow. I'm about to say, you're burning the Zen over there. I get you. Okay.
No. It's, I brought up Pacquiao and Mayweather for a reason, not just because there was clearly that fight happened way too late. These guys are, if you look at past performance, I could make the case that Spence is on his way down, and Crawford has been up and down for the last few fights.
Okay, so do you have that video I sent you? Because I was going to try to save it for another time. Do you have that video I sent you? What the trainer said about development?
Hang on a second. I will get that one pulled up for you.
Versus being built. Bear with us, you all. Give us a few seconds here. We're going to try to get that video pulled up. I wasn't going to do it for this show. Yeah. But let's see what we got here. Yep. Bear with us for a second. And if you would, I'll go to another commercial here, and we'll be right back once Double J pulls that up. Yep. We can go to 50 seconds. Yep. Same deal. Same bad channel, same bad time, baby.
It's K Cunningham, and you watching the Shop Report. I'm Army Diallo, and you watching the Shop Report.
My name's Chris Murray, and you're watching the Shop Report. You're Jay Nivey, you're watching the Shop Report.
Touch that dial. Stay tuned.
Max here, dropping in on the Shop Report.
Hi, I'm Mars Edwards from Mercury Stadium, and you're watching the Shock Report.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching the Shop Report. Hey guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Barbershop J, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
Commander Brown, Detroit Rivers Mountain Training, and I'm watching the Shop Report.
I'm Matt Ramos, and you're watching the Shop Report.
All right, we are back. I thought my man would be done by now. Bear with me. I'm getting a message here in the private chat. I appreciate you all. Okay, I got a double jab. I'm gonna just send it to you again. If you just pop on back in, I'll send it to you again. Yeah, I'll send it to you again. Yeah, I thought I'd already had it over there, but I guess not. All right. Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, but at the end of the day, man, while I look for this here on my phone, I want you to well, go ahead. You said you could make a case for what are you saying about Spence? Because I want to hear this.
Look, their age is what I'm starting to get worried about, which is what everyone I think should be talking about. The thing with Crawford is his last few fights in terms of a more like traditional model of how he was winning have been somewhat up and down, right? In theory, the closer you are to a knockout in the earlier rounds, we'll call that a 10
hold that thought. How do you want me to send it to you? Message or Discord or how?
Either.
Okay. Oh, no, I'll send it to you via message.
So basically, again, if you guys were to visualize a chart here, you'd have the age as kind of your x-axis and the method of victory. So again, as your y, meaning knockout, and as close to round one being the essential metaphorical 10 out of 10 at a younger age. So if I were to just ramble off the last few fights, so a round 6 knockout, a round 9 knockout, round 4 knockout, a round 10 knockout, a round 6 knockout, you could see how, again, with the age, you would start seeing something like that. Now, if again, this is for that was for Crawford. But if we go to Spence using that same metaphorical model
or formula,
yep, knockout round 1. So we would be way up here. Unanimous decision, split decision, unanimous decision. Round 10. You see, we're on a downward trajectory based off of.
But wait. You said round 10, but okay, he was down on a downward trajectory. I'll say that fast one time. But now it seems like he was trending back up when you said round 10.
Correct, slightly. But remember, the age is working against him in the model. So even though it may be a slight decrease, we're now kind of a little wavy, not peaks and valleys like we would see in the other. So
yeah, and they both round about, and that's another thing. I'm not saying in terms of, I don't know how old is old when it comes to boxing. Well,
where would you put someone's prime, right? Because again, back in the day,
that's the point. I mean, you can say when George Foreman came back, yeah, that was old. You understand? Sure. But in these guys' case, I don't know if 30 aren't they in their 30s? I don't know if
mid 30s. Mid
30s. I don't know if that's old in boxing. Well, I don't know. But you would have to. But that's another to my point as far as timing, because, and I'm just saying for the sake of argument, if you do this fight, I know it wasn't that long ago. I'm just throwing a number out here. I'm just to give an example. Let's say these guys had initially agreed to fight in their mid-20s. That's a whole different type of fight in terms of the action, the endurance, et cetera, as opposed to these guys fight and they 35. You get what I'm saying here?
Well, they are 35.
Okay, well then okay, there it is. There it is. I mean, so I'm paying in this case, pay close attention to the sponsorship. You went from, I don't know, Campbell's chicken soup to now maybe Depends. I'm just saying, I would trust and believe. Or AARP. Okay, who's gonna be the sponsor for this thing? Did you get it? Do you know how the video still?
I didn't see where did you send it?
Via Messenger.
Oh,
Text,
okay.
text message.
Right,
Yep, text message.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw this video up here right quick in regards to this whole Spence and Crawford proposed or alleged showdown. Again, we do not own the rights to the video, obviously, or the music or whatever else it might come with. No profanity, I believe. I kind of double checked and triple checked, but we were going to say this for the next show. We were going to be discussing this thing because it's supposed to be July 29th. I think the fight is supposed to be. So it's still enough time in between for somebody to get a dislocated elbow or injured a hand, getting a drink of water or something like that. We stay some slippage or something, and then the fight be called off. Because I tell you what, they call the fight off again. It's a wrap. It's a wrap again. The little boy who cried wolf. I don't want to see it. Don't come to me a third time trying to sell it. Not me. Nope, I don't want to see it. Yep, I don't want to see it. We should be getting my man Gully here shortly. Just got a little message from him a little bit ago. We should be getting him. Did it come through on your end, Double J? Okay, good deal.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get it full screen, so hang tight.
Okay, bear with us if you all would. Bear with us. We're gonna try to get this up here for you. But yeah, I am looking forward to seeing the fight, because it's been a while since we've actually seen a champ. Well, I know Tank. Who was it that Tank fought a couple of weeks ago? And then here from Cleveland, we got the Mason brothers. They doing their thing too. Shout out to the Mason brothers. But for the most part, man, the sport in and of itself, it keeps giving itself a black eye, number one. And number two, there's too much time that passes in between championship fights. You one of those, and especially in this day and age of instant gratification and what have you done for me lately? You got to give us more, boxing. You got to give us more if you want us to stay tuned, because the UFC is taking over. And no offense to the UFC, but I'd rather watch WWE or WWF. I'm not sure. All right, I think you got it right now. We're gonna pop the video up here. Double J, you started from the beginning. You with me?
You sure am. One moment here. I'm getting ready to roll.
All right. Yep. Started from the beginning. Please.
Development of Errol Spence says he can endure anything he has to bring. The development aspect of it. I mean by that, some fighters are built, other fighters are developed. It was a fight where he got hit by Lartley. Then they didn't pull back. They kept building. Better and better competition. You see what I'm saying? That's development. Right. Not putting them guys you should beat. That's building. That's the difference. Right. So we development of Errol Spence.
Okay, so you heard what the guy had to say. He said the development of Errol Spence. You want to play it again, Double J?
I would love to, because I think I'm intrigued. I want to get your opinion on it, on something he said.
Exactly. Okay, go ahead. Play it again.
Development of Errol Spence says he can endure anything he has to bring. The development aspect of it. I mean by that, some fighters are built, other fighters are developed. It was a fight where he got hit by Lartley. Then they didn't pull back. They kept building. Better and better competition. You see what I'm saying? That's development. Right. Not putting them guys you should beat. That's building. That's the difference. Right. So we develop.
Okay. All right. Let's come on back. Good job. I appreciate that. Yep. All right. Go ahead. What say you?
So I gave a chart. All right. And we'll take age out of the equation because it is similar between the two. I would hate for that to be really brought up as, if this fight comes and goes and then they say, well, you know what, it should have happened, as you guys have pointed out, 3-4 years ago, and maybe we would have had a different result. I would, based on this video alone, I would actually say that wouldn't be applicable. If you're going to hone in on what this video stated about the development of the fighter himself, that, and I'm going to give a quote of yours, which is, with age should come wisdom.
Versus with age comes wisdom. There's a difference. When you put that word in that expression, it changes the connotation of the entire expression, which is why words and their placement and their choice or usage or the verbiage is critical to what is being expressed. But go ahead.
Because of that, if we want to use it that way.
So what word did he say that you're looking at in particular? Or are you just using the whole thing?
Well, I'm looking at his body of work, the more recent fights, how they were won. Right. Sometimes, again, if I'm looking at it from an analytical view in the manner that I portrayed a moment ago, you could easily make the case, if you were only using that as your data points, in suggesting that he's actually at a disadvantage because it looks like his best days are behind him. However,
what this guy said is kind of contrary to that.
It is. It very much so.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's not that he, it's not just the fact. Remember, he still won. He's more so explaining it's how he won. That potentially in some of these, he may have been an equal to in terms of just ability to someone like a Sean Porter, or in other cases with opponents that he's had. But because of up here in his development as a fighter, he was able to actually get the best or better of those same opponents, which is ultimately the case that he's making as to why he would lean towards Spence versus Crawford. Because if you're looking at on the other side, these are all knockouts, right? They fluctuated in what rounds, but again, every fight is different. So in some ways, if this were to go just off of what we've seen here, and we end up seeing Spence win, we'll say in a split decision, it very could much come down to your quote, which is, with age should come wisdom versus with age comes wisdom.
Exactly. Let me
between the two by itself. Ultimately, because if you look at style, if you really kind of dive into ability, you would actually say that Spence is able. Remember, he's able to switch styles, right? That
I know that Spence adapts to what he's okay when he fights a guy, almost sort of like kind of like Floyd Mayweather. Oh, I'm gonna fight this guy this way. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna bag up a bit here, and I'm gonna give a better parable, or if we can use that here. There was a movie Bruce Lee was in called The Game of Death. And he had to save some lady or some princess or something or another. I forget why he needed to get to the top. He went to this tower. And on each level of this tower was a fighter. And each fighter brought a different type of fighting style. So he had to adapt or match, or in order to beat each fighter to advance to the next level. One guy was jiu-jitsu, one guy was aikido, one guy was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, okay, the basketball kicker, you know, that type of deal. But again, if you all go check the movie out, Game of Death, Bruce Lee, you all will see. I think that's right around the time when he died. So they started filming it. I think he passed, and then they had some guy fill in the rest of the way, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, you all get the correlation I'm trying to draw between this Spence and Crawford deal versus and Bruce Lee or whatnot, excuse me. But anyway, Spence he can adapt. But to me, what this guy said, it covers he's not just talking about in boxing, he's talking about sports in general. Because he said development, We talked about that before on more than one occasion. We talk about Ben Simmons, for instance, and the development, you know, and versus the coaching and whatnot. And what are those things that lead to or show? Shout out to my man Gully for weighing in. Hold on. Are you going to show us your face? Or
All right. How we doing? Hold on one second.
Oh, you came here and
new phone. Who this? New phone. Who this?
Really? Unbelievable. We just seen a blank picture here, and normally you had the logo with the question marks and the exclamation marks up. Okay, yeah, got you.
Yeah, coming soon. Coming soon. By the way, coming soon. Still getting things together.
Okay, so do I need to remove you until you show us who you are?
No, we can keep going, bro. It may just show up. You might just see it.
Oh, okay, got you. Anywho, but at the end of the day, what this man said, and I don't know who the guy is, but it's you know me, it's not about who's saying it. It's about whether or not what's being said makes sense. What the guy is saying in regards to development versus manufactured or built makes total sense. You can add or insert whatever player name, whatever fighter name, whatever sport in that player's name that you want to. That's fine. Oh, okay. Thank you. About goodness gracious, about time we got to see something here. You can insert whoever you want to. What he said is one of those ... fill in the blank type moments. He said Spence, they developed Spence and they didn't pull him back. In other words, here it is, you got an up-and-coming fighter. Let's say he loses to a guy, and his trainers or those who manage him or whatever say, you know what, we're gonna drop him down a weight class, you know, because no. And you know, I've used this expression before, if you want to call it that. When we were coming up and we played basketball, okay, we would test ourselves and where our games were at whatever particular time or what level our game was by playing against those guys who were older. When I was 15, I was playing against 25-year-olds. I would lose a lot, but each time that I took an L, I took something away from it in order that I used to get better. So therefore, by the time I got to around playing against my peers, I was top dog. You get it? So this is in essence what they did for Spence, in my opinion. They kept him going, rising. Now, I don't know if what he's saying about Bud I'm in agreement with, but it does make sense. If Bud is fighting dudes he know he can beat, then that's built. That's not development. I'm just saying. Even though I like Bud as a fighter, and at one point I was going for Bud in this fight when the timing was right. But as of now, it don't make me no never mind which one of them guys come out on top, man. Which one of them guys win or whatever the decision is, because this fight should have been didn't happen. Gully, what say you?
Right. I feel the same way. The importance of like having a fight, having a big name fight is, okay, what will it mean when that fighter wins? What does it mean for the sport? What does it mean? Yeah, what does it mean for the sport for Spence or Bud to win at this point? I'm not certain. See, before there was an opportunity, or there was some enthusiasm as to, okay, Spence wins this fight versus Bud or whomever, that okay, this is the status. This is the pound for pound best in the world. Perhaps we're talking about this is the standard by which other fighters got to come in and reach. We're looking elsewhere right now, and that's the thing. I'm because it's been so long. I, as a boxing fan, particularly, am struggling to find that motivating factor for me to be wanting to see this.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I'm glad it's finally taking place. We got to roll things on, keep things rolling, so to speak.
Hang on.
I'm glad it's finally taking place, but you know, again, timing is everything. Is it a little too late?
Well, did the hiatus, what excuses are we going to make? Okay.
For what?
We've talked about, you guys have brought up time. I've brought up age. we mentioned some of the whys as it pertains to time, and with the car wreck, the eye surgery, and now a slight hiatus, if you will. Basically, you look at things like when I'm going to point back to that what we just had played a moment ago. None of these guys are Pernell Whitaker defensively.
No, absolutely not.
Correct.
They both have knockouts, all of which, for the most part, or the majority of which, have came after the 6th round.
Okay.
Defense wins championships. That age-old metaphor.
Yeah, but I don't know. I hear what you're
going. Yeah, apparently, especially if you look at last weekend. I'm not gonna have sour grapes about that no more.
Hey, you breaking up, Gully, real bad. Your audio is choppy.
Yep, so you get to repeat it.
Yeah, what did you say? Same thing. Your audio is choppy.
All right. Well,
yeah. I'll give you a second to fix it there. Yeah, your audio is real choppy. Yeah,
both have great footwork, right? We would agree on that.
Oh yeah, I guess.
No, now we're okay. All right.
I guess.
I thought I would say above average, certainly.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
but see,
you don't have an Arturo Gatti in terms of Spence, right? In terms of like he sets up the left hand, but I don't know.
You're saying in this case defense wins championships. To me, that I like the line, but I think it's more applicable in basketball or football, those sports that have more than one person involved in the outcome.
Well, you're talking about two people that have 70, I believe it's over 75% of their wins came by knockout combined between the two.
That's offense though.
Correct. Meaning you have to be able to play defense when you know someone, your opponent, is trying to knock you out.
No, I don't listen. No. I would say now that's one thing I would say. Well, in my opinion, the one thing I would say about both these guys, whatever knockouts they've gotten, they did not get them prior to going into the fight. Gee, my knees. That was on their mind. I'm going here to knock him out. I mean, they might say that in the press conferences or whatever it is for the fans' sake of the fans. But fighters of these calibers, of this caliber, they know better to go. They know better than to be going to look for a knockout, so to speak. Because then you're looking for a knockout, you get tunnel vision or you get narrow mind and you get knocked out. You understand what I'm saying? I'm about to go in here. I'm about to stick, because if that's the case, what's the game plan? Knock him out? No, come on. This is not Deontay Wilder we're talking about.
But this is kind of what I mean, is that both of them allow the fights to develop and somewhat come to them, right? Even Crawford is not someone who is kind of going to run you over in terms of constantly pressuring you. He just knows how.
They're going to both box.
Exactly. So this is what I mean. It is very even in a lot of the traditional formats that we would look at. However, if there were an advantage and we were to take some of these variables out of the equation, like what impact the eye surgery has and the car wreck and the hiatus, if you would have put them together all prior to that, I think at least, and again, it may have no impact on it whatsoever, but if Spence has truly developed, then the longer this goes on, the better it sets up for him to win.
Yeah, I know. Give me 1 second, you all. I got to step away for about 3 seconds. Bear with me. Something just came up. Bear with me. I'll be right back.
Gully, I have to ask you, because again, I look at a few different consistent measurables in terms of style. I brought up defense. In terms of, and then I try to bring in some kind of wild variables or X factors. These guys are relatively undersized. They're, again, I've used some historical great fighters in those specific types of things, like an Arturo Gatti offensively, a Pernell Whitaker defensively. These guys move their feet. They let the fights come to them. How do you see it ultimately playing out, and which will lead to who you got and why?
Man, it's going to be controversial. No, I can't say controversial. I actually give the edge to Bud. Because I think that what's going to hunt Spence is if that eye isn't really in shape, and whatever those lingering effects of that car accident are. I mean, he's got to be in great physical shape, because I think a fighter of Bud's caliber, compared to whatever else Spence is seeing, is going to test him. Going to test the limits. I mean, we talking about like champion sort of thing. I give the edge to Bud because I don't see, as of right now, I don't see any deficiencies there that we got to worry about. Like, man, how healthy is he going to be? Also, I think that Bud is capable. I don't remember the last time Bud got his bell rung in a fight. You know what I mean? In terms of really taking consistent punishment. We've seen it from Spence, but to that credit, one of my favorite fighters ever is Miguel Cotto. I've seen this bell get rung a lot. But then we also see the way he responds. Clearly, Spence does respond well, but you got a champion like Bud that can hit and finish, unlike any other guy that I think Spence has seen. I'd give the advantage to Bud in this fight.
You're muted.
My apologies. Sorry about that, y'all. I'm not comparing the fighters per se, but it's something to be said for a guy that's your equal, so to speak, or going up against another guy that's elite. All right? For different sport, but the concept or the premise is the same. I'm going to use the Browns here, for instance, seeing how the #1 Browns hater, but I don't know how, seeing how I turned you all on to the Browns. But anyway, that's another story for another day. Every year, that's why we didn't do it. That's why we didn't do an NFL draft. That's why we didn't do an NFL schedule breakdown and all that other crap. Okay, that I used to do early on doing this. Listen. It's time to win. Okay, excuse me for ranting right quick. What I'm saying to you is, people look at the schedule and be like, "Oh, that's a win. 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 That's a win." Hey, listen. No, it's not. Okay, no, it's not. Absolutely, it's not. You understand me? And here's why. Who you go up against tells me a lot about who you are at whatever it is that you do. If you keep playing the teams that are bottom feeders, and then you get to the playoffs, possibly after feeding on the bottoms, and you get knocked out and get your mouth tore out in the playoffs, I don't understand the surprise. Go back and look at how you got there. You get what I'm trying to tell you? Because in the playoffs, you're going to see one of the top tier teams. So all in all, Bud is elite. Spence is elite. Who, from both ends, who have we seen these guys fight that are what they are or close to? So we don't know.
I see what you're saying there. The problem is, we can't judge current, I mean, in any sport, really, we can't judge boxers' resumes by the way we judged the glory years of the 90s and before, because boxers'
resumes of today.
Yes. So when we say, well, who has he beat or who has he beat, it's going to be a whole lot of nothing and a whole lot of top 10 pound for pounds class. Okay, because there's a lack there, and again, because of the way because of the political arrangement boxing has between the fragmentation of promoters and the fragmentation of networks, where it's going to be very hard for anybody in the near future to even say, you know what, I don't care what promoter he with. You know, I want this guy. I don't care what the zone got going on. I want this guy. So that being said, right, the landscape, and it's so the pool is got so much PP in it. I'm sorry.
Hey.
It do, man.
Gosh,
You know it does, man.
Oh my God.
It does. And but to your point though, you can look at, all right, listen, here's a guy who was considered a champion. How do they fare in these type of fights? You know what I'm saying?
Right, that's all I'm looking.
Yeah, how did they fare against other champions? How did they fare against other top 5 rank? And I've seen Spence. Well, maybe I guess it's to the point of the audio that you played, the guy who was with opinion. I've seen Spence in more trouble in recent memory in fights than I have for Crawford. That could mean, to your point though, Spence was challenging himself and acquired a new skill set or a new experience, whereas Crawford was still honing in and still, you know, doing what he does best against guys who don't have an answer for him. Maybe Spence has answers to questions that Crawford has asked other fighters that they couldn't respond.
Yeah, and lastly, before we move on to our last topic for the day, I'll just say I'm glad to finally see that it's taking place, but I'm gonna cross my fingers until I see him get in the ring. I don't believe until I see it. Okay. Yeah, but again, I'm waiting to see.
I'm waiting to see PBC tell me this fight is $86.99 and it's going to be on Saturday. In which case,
exactly.
I want to see that. I want to see this sticker price.
Yeah, I do too. I'm telling you, I already know it's going to be in the ballpark between 80 and 100, guaranteed.
Now, who else is on that card?
I don't know, and I don't care.
I know. I want to care. You got to tell me if you're going forward. If you're gonna make me pay $99 for a fight, I want to see the guys that are, and I want to see who you expect to be coming next. Like, I don't want to see a whole bunch of figuring it out. I want to see the guy. Like, I want to see. Wait a minute. When did Mayweather fight? Mayweather fought a championship fight on the undercard of, I believe. Did he fight on the undercard of?
I don't recall. You going way back now.
That's
above my pay grade.
Hold on. But yeah, I'll get back to it though. But what I'm saying is, I want to see who. If you're gonna make me pay $100 for the here and now, you better show me who's coming next, and not just figuring it out.
You're not making me pay the $100 just for the main event.
Yeah, I would like to know the other name too on the card right before it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, we'll come back to this. I'm sure we'll discuss it again as we get closer to fight night, so to speak. But speaking of which, I'd rather play the game than to see this lame. I'm just saying. Anyway, let's keep things rolling. All right, and lastly, we got the Gridiron. A little bit of NFL news for you all. I'm not going to go through everything I had here on the list today because I do have some errands to run. As always, I'm on the go, you know. But I will mention this right quick. A few things here. Deshaun Watson. Doggone it. Do re mi fo salite do. DeAndre Hopkins. Let him say that fast 2 times. The Cardinals let DeAndre Hopkins go. Where do you see him landing? And is it the Browns, seeing how we're here in Cleveland, are the Browns a possibility? Double J, Gully, don't you say a word. Double J, you and Brother Rich, y'all the current Brown bandwagoners. Don't be over there hiding out. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Is DeAndre Hopkins destined to go to the Browns?
Destined? I don't know if I would go that far, but would he be a fit? Of course.
Of course, you say that, even though he won't be.
Look,
but of course,
hang
you
on
say
a
that
second.
because you're a Browns fan.
No.
Oh,
this goes
disgusting.
back to the original. Gully, you're going to have to remember this now. the original argument when our hosts slandered Patrick Mahomes.
I did not. For the record,
completely
no, that's
wrecked
absolutely
let him go.
like a bowling ball.
Barbershop, let him go because we gotta get. No. Listen, we already know where it's going. Barbershop, we already know where it's going. Let him get it out. Let him get it out. We already know where it's going. No, let him. Listen, let him go. Let him go. Let him. No. There's no clarification needed. No, I'm telling you, let him go. I promise you. Trust me on this. No, I promise you. Let him go. Let him finish this. Listen, you gotta promise me. Let him finish this.
I'm not gonna promise you that.
Listen, because if you interrupt it,
understand what I'm getting ready to say. I'm
telling you, I know.
Interrupt.
All right, watch. Okay, go ahead. Let him go.
No. Let me clarify, or for clarification purposes only. I did not say or slander Patrick Mahomes.
In his best Bill Clinton voice.
No, please, absolutely not. These dudes right here sweeping down, that's Double J and Brother Rich, by the way, that I slandered Patrick Mahomes because I said in Andy Reid's offense, I asked this question: could Deshaun Watson win a Super Bowl? And when they because I asked that, they said I'm slandering Patrick Mahomes.
No. It wasn't just asked.
I did.
It wasn't just some loose question.
Yeah, it was. Oh, please put the Lucia back.
It was absolutely implied in that there was a list that exceeded beyond Deshaun. So I won't even limit it to Watson.
What list? Oh my gosh, yeah.
You were willing to rinse and repeat with a whole host of active NFL quarterbacks, which was just.
Were you?
No,
I don't think so.
I did not.
Oh,
I did not. I did not. Yeah, of course.
Okay, all right. So name another name then, Double J.
Yeah, who else did I say? See what I'm saying?
Well, exactly. Give him the technical difficulty screen.
No.
See, this is why I wanted you. This is why I wanted you to just let it go, Barbershop. This is why I wanted you to just let it go.
Of course, yeah. Yeah, he walking into a sand pile is what we're gonna call it for today's program. Okay?
Keep going. His screen about to start. His screen about to start glitching. He about to start having audio issues.
Yeah. Anyway, let's keep these rolling because I got a few errands to run. Yeah. Thanks, Gully. I appreciate that. I should have just listened to you the first 10 times. But anywho, Hopkins let go. I think he'll land somewhere, maybe to a contender, but I don't see him coming here to the Browns. Bryce Young's passes. And this has been coming out of OTAs now. Okay. And then I'll make a mention too about OTAs and what should be gathered from them, because I know some fans here like Double J, he already got season tickets. You know what I mean? The OTAs. I didn't even know they was doing that in Detroit. But anyway, Bryce Young's passes.
Because those guys are too busy gambling.
Oh,
I mean, they're like, they need the hotline.
Stop it.
No, there's like 6 of them now.
I know it is.
They had to fire half the staff. They were in trouble for it.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, they're shooting dice, behind the Allen Park facility there, apparently.
I mean, hey, listen, you got to get in where you fit in, baby. Bryce Young's passes are being batted down in OTAs.
What a shocker. He's 5'5". I mean,
okay. All right. And let me throw this little tidbit in about OTAs right quick. And I'll throw him up here. A good friend of the program, my man right here. Shout out to my man Herm R.
That's right.
Played under Eddie Robinson. Give you all a little quick bio on him right quick. Played under Eddie Robinson at Grambling, and he played for Bill Belichick here in Cleveland in the 90s, and he made the move to Baltimore when the Browns made their infamous move, which to me, again, to this day, is not nearly as bad as what Marshall Broda and the Colts did when they left on the Mayflower to Indianapolis. Anyway, that's another story too for another day. Herm said to me one time about OTAs, fans, I get it, love football. They get excited every year, especially here in Cleveland. They go overboard, fandom to a fault is what I like to call it, about the Browns. And they look at the schedule. The Browns going 13-4. The Browns going undefeated and all that old outlandish type of talk. So when the OTAs took place, oh my gosh, you should hear all the talk shows now. Do the Browns have what they need to be, and that fill in the blank, right? So he said to me one time, he and I were at the training camp. We talking to Landry and Odell. I think it was Odell Beckham, Landry, because he's from Louisiana. Herm is. So he knows those guys and he knows their families, to tell you the truth. He goes way back with their families or whatnot. But it was Njoku, Miles Garrett. We was all there. Kevin Mack, former players, Anthony Green. We was all there chopping it. Then Herman and I kind of broke off to the side a little bit, and he was talking about OTAs. And he said, listen, man, he said, we had a guy once who in shorts and shirt is what they call it, you know, where they just wear the helmets and no pads or whatever, no pads. He said, we had a guy that was flying around one camp, man. I mean, he was everywhere, linebacker. I'm not going to mention his name, but he was making plays left and right. And they was like, oh, man. And, of course, the reporters took the bait. Oh, my gosh, this guy's going to be the next, you know, like the stuff like Scott Foster J up here in the top right corner. That guy over there. That guy over there. Where am I pointing at? Am I pointing the right way? Yeah, that guy over there. Yeah. Oh, he's going to be the next Isaiah Thomas. Why? Because he's 5'10". Yeah, that type of deal. He said, man, the only thing you gather from OT, he said, because that guy flying around in OTAs, he said, man, when we put them pads on, that dude wasn't nowhere to be found. I'm trying to say, so in other words, the things that most fans, I get it in their fandom and their excitement, they go overboard and expect, and they got high expectations just from OTAs. Stop. What you should gather from OTAs are things like play execution. This is what they're working on, and rapport with one another. Deshaun Watson, for instance, and the receivers, DJ Moore and all the other guys, they I think they got Godwin too, if I'm not mistaken. They got a few receivers. What they're working on is things like, for instance, when they come to the line of scrimmage, they're working on signals that don't require using the hands that tip the defense off type of deal. In other words, I get up under center and I look to my left and I see you see the same coverage I see. So you already know we got to ad lib for that. You understand? So in other words, if you were supposed to make a 15-yard dig, I look out there and see the corner playing inside the numbers with 10 yards off of you. I want you to hit a curl, but I'm going to look at you, and you know the look I give you and the look you're going to give me back going to let me know we're going to make an adjustment on this route. That's what the OTAs are for the most part. But I will say this. Finally, the Browns got a defensive coordinator whose coordination coordinates. Okay. Shout out to BSJ, baby. What's going down the lyrics, baby? Because listen, whoever that guy was, don't Double J, get back in the frame here now. Go on, get back in the frame. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, this guy right here. Who was the defensive coordinator we let go? You know, he had the acronym next to his name. He was anything but. Joe Williams, Bobby Lee Jackson. Woods. Oh, Joe, that guy played for the Florida Tropics in the ABA. Yeah, okay, got you. Yeah, anyhow, I'm glad to see he's gone. Okay, Jim Schwartz has already set the tone in the OTAs. But there's one.
What a shocker!
Yeah, there's one thing that. Well, I told you all when the Seahawks won their first Super Bowl, Pete Carroll said from day one, this championship mindset or nothing else. Marshawn Lynch said, okay, yeah, we signed off on that. It was all to the good. But
so are you saying right now I got an email the other day. If I put my name on the list with a small deposit for the wait list, I get a Joe Thomas jersey. Should I be taking advantage of that?
I could. You don't make me no. Never mind. I mean, if you like cheese, you can go to Wisconsin.
Well, hang on a second.
Oh no, we're not hanging on to no
this freaking guy here. Hang on. He talks about Herman and I chopping it up. He's saying don't drink the Kool-Aid of OTAs, but yet here he is talking about why I should be placing a deposit because of what's happening.
I'm telling you why. You barbershop. Like I ain't gonna lie, man. You kind of You gotta work. You gotta work on that one. You gotta elaborate on that one, bro. Because you kind of did. Tell what's the difference.
What I'm saying to you is, first of all,
delineate, extrapolate, congregate, ruminate.
No, I'm not thinking about nothing I got to say because I'm getting ready to say it there. You understand me? What I'm telling him is whether he buys a Joe, he's asking me, should he buy a Joe Thomas jersey? I don't care. Okay.
No. They give me one if I place a deposit.
Okay, well then place a deposit, whatever that deposit is, if you so choose, and then use it for a coffee table. I'm trying to tell you. I'm trying to say, okay. Joe Thomas was not one of my favorite Browns, if you would. Oh, and by the way, shout out to my man Jim Brown. You know what I'm saying? Who recently passed here. He was human. I'll say that, but he had a lot to do with the game of football and why it is what it is today. But if you're gonna place a deposit and get a jersey, my point, get that one.
I
Okay.
already have actually the
Oh,
fabric
here
is
we
the
go. The
cotton,
braggadociousness. Oh my
authentic,
gosh.
Jim Brown. That is the
You talk about the game worn 1964 NFL
that
championship
type.
jersey. You have that one?
I have
Oh,
the
he have.
the version of
See,
that.
he the
He got a
version,
version. Yeah, he's
Well,
the
got a
version that he
It's,
wore.
yeah.
He got a version.
Those
Meaning
are-
if you
hang on a second. I'm going to pull that up here and put it on. I'm
no,
gonna
we don't need to
bring
see
the
your
screen.
clothes. Nobody wants to see what's in your closet. Oh, stay out of the closet. What I'm saying to you is, what I'm saying to you is that jersey that he has, you pull one little thread on it and trust and believe, like Bugs Bunny, it's not going to show, it's not going to be there no more, okay? It's going to be messing around to be a necktie or something. I don't know. But anywho, yeah, if you want to get a jersey, get that one. But if you want to get a Joe Thomas jersey, when you place a deposit, fine. Whatever the deposit is, go ahead and do that. But you'll have my blessing. Not that my blessing means anything, but no, I won't sign off on that. All right. You want a Frank Minifield jersey? Absolutely. You want a Hanford Dixon jersey? Start the dogs. Woo. Absolutely. Eric Metcalf? Absolutely. Bernie Kosar? No question. Brian Sipe even. Ozzie Newsome? Yes. Joe Thomas? Yeah, okay, I got you. Yeah, I'll take
what did Joe Thomas do?
He didn't do much of nothing, if you ask me.
How you figure? Like, that's the thing. Like, Joe Thomas, I mean, I get it. Like, Joe Thomas Joe Thomas Hall of Fame status represents interesting challenge that you have with Browns fans. I mean, really, on any other team, or matter of fact, on any other franchise, I don't know of another Joe Thomas in that era, like a left tackle with his rating.
Okay. First of all, I don't recall all of the left tackles in this era, but I'm sure if we go back and look it up, we'll find some who were better than. But here's what I'm gonna throw out there.
I don't know, but what I'm saying is, but here's the thing.
Come to mind with Tony Boselli?
No,
Willie
because
Rowe,
no, he can't.
Dobler.
You can't.
Okay,
you can't. You know why? Because no, you cannot say that at all. And the reason why is because in every name that you gave great offenses that produced offensively, and they were playoff caliber teams. Joe Thomas cannot influence points because his sack ratio.
Yeah, he can.
How can he? How can he?
Because he can. Because if the quarterback gets sacked, then your chance of getting points is off the table.
What I'm saying, if his sack ratio is among the top 10, or if his sack ratio or his whatever, look at his numbers. We're gonna find what stats that they list for tackles. If his numbers match up with other Hall of Famers like Boselli and like any other left tackle for any other Hall of Fame team or any other great Super Bowl winning team, if his numbers match up there, which I'm arguing that they will, why we can't?
Wait. What I'm saying to you is I'm going off the eye test strictly. His numbers may indeed match theirs, but when I'm talking about straight up, I watch a guy keep Reggie White off of his quarterback type of guy, the Bosellis and whatnot. I'm talking about what I've seen on the tape. I ain't talking about what the numbers say. I'll throw that up in a minute, Double J. My point is, I'm not going solely off the numbers. I get it. Joe Thomas's numbers might be there. But here's what I'm trying to say to you. Lomas Brown.
Okay.
Who was that blocked for Barry Sanders?
Well, actually, yeah, friend of my
a friend of me, a friend of his. Was on some of the most terriblest teams, if that's a word, that the Detroit Pistons could ever fielded. I'm talking about Barry Sanders' best years, okay? The Detroit Pistons made the playoffs, 1.5.6.34 times?
Lions.
Okay, did I say Detroit Pistons?
You've been saying Pistons for like last week.
Shout out to BSJ.
Hey, okay, but you know what? Barry Sanders probably could have ran behind them too. So
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Barry. No, he was a heck of a basketball player too, man. Hey, man, they might have had something there. They could Barry Sanders off the bench after Zeke. Boy, imagine.
Did you see him in that dunk contest?
Yeah,
dunk contest.
They had NFL players did the dunk contest.
Athlete, bro.
Oh yeah.
Barry Sanders was an athlete.
But to your point, like Joe Thomas have a Hall of Fame career, has a left tackle, but he don't have nothing to show for it because you got the entire organization during his entire tenure, wasted that opportunity. You had the best left. You had arguably the best left tackle in that era. And had nothing to show for it.
Okay, I couldn't argue with that, but I mean,
which is why you and I agree about. Which is why you and I agree about the Browns. compared to Double J and our guy brother Rich.
Yeah, they just because they went out and bought pajamas with the feet in them, they think that they something special, man. Anybody paying for
Now, I do want to say this, Mr. OTAs, and this is relevant as it pertains to Watson, or I'm sorry, Hopkins, rather. Is the early success in OTAs of Elijah Moore that has been reported the reason why Hopkins will not end up in Cleveland?
First of all,
Part of,
no.
yes. Part of, yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, listen, like I just said to you all, you all can go down there and buy PSLs based off OTAs if you want to. It ain't gonna be a boy, okay? Yeah, I've been watching this team since I don't know, since 1977. Yeah, okay. You're not gonna get me.
So why won't Hopkins end up as a Brown, in your opinion?
Yeah, because the Browns, because of the moves that they made, not just Elijah Moore, they added a few other guys. You know what I'm saying? They don't really need a Hopkins. The name
I disagree entirely, but going back.
Why would they need? Okay, when you with Amari Cooper already? Why would you need DeAndre Hopkins?
That's what I'm saying. You don't need DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh,
you don't need DeAndre.
Amari Cooper's DeAndre Hopkins now?
No, that's not what we say. You see what he do?
No, I'm saying, but
yeah, you see what he do. You see what he do.
I'd release Amari Cooper for DeAndre Hopkins. No way. There's no.
I'm saying because you got to understand, man. When you talk about those, when you talk about those names,
yeah.
When you talk about those names, right? You say I'm choppy
here. No, you good. We got a comment here. I don't know who the name of the person is, but shout out. They asking the question: do you think the MLS league is in the top 9 of the best football leagues in the world? And where would you rank the MLS league? Yeah, we do discuss.
Okay, so if we were going to go the top 9 really quick, obviously you have the Premier League, arguably 1. You could say Bundesliga 2. Then you could go naturally maybe to the Farmers League in France. You naturally, of course, Serie A, you could rinse and repeat with those 4. So in theory, in terms, because you use 9, obviously the others that would stick out would be Belgium's, and then unfortunately, gosh, of course, La Liga in Spain. So we're at 6 now. I would say yes. Spain too. Yeah, Spain, you absolutely Spain. La Liga could be absolutely placed number 2 or 1. Just depending, I guess we could look at the Champions League final, maybe say that for this particular season, we could go a little bit differently. But if the MLS were to be there, we would have to say 9 at the earliest, because they simply can't be any better than that. You look at, again, Holland's with Ajax, the Eurovision, I believe is what it's called. We're already we're already approaching 7, 8. If you want to look at even at that point now, that's where you look at Liga MX even at number 8, and then you get maybe to MLS at 9. But
and who is Italia? Am I saying? Never mind. Am I pronouncing that right?
I think he was referring to Italy.
Okay, got you. Okay, got you. Shout out from overseas. It seems like there might be somebody from overseas. Shout out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For weighing in.
But you got to recall, MLS right now, this is something that's been burning on my mind, because just so you know, I have a 12-year-old right now, and I was going to read off the pathway for kids in the United States to become a professional is very difficult. Not only is it expensive, but you have to basically start from 5 years old and stay with the same club to gain kind of the leeway that you need, because you have MLS Next, you have USL, which has Super Y in the summers for the kids. But otherwise, it's still a growing league in itself. And now something that I learned is that MLS owners, the owners of the teams, have actually a stake in the conglomerate itself. So they're not just the owner of the Columbus Crew. They own a piece of the whole pie with the team itself, or with the namesake MLS, with that brand. And that's why they're not open to promotion relegation yet. That's why they're going in and just slandering all the hard work that by announcing they're going to go into San Diego, when the San Diego Loyal exists by Landon Donovan. If you're familiar, former U.S. player, played in the Premier League as well.
Yeah.
He's a part owner of San Diego Loyal, which is in the USL Championship. That's where Detroit City FC currently plays. Basically, there's 4 other tiers of leagues that are regional. There you have the National League, ECNL, which is being renamed. You have the Elite Academy League. And then coming in 4th is your traditional state leagues. This is a conversation I was going to have with Doc, because unfortunately, if you're going to make it as a player now, that pathway has gotten so freaking difficult because of how they want to approach this, because of really greed. And it's disturbing. So as
and
of
the bottom line, it's always the
12 months
line.
ago, here's how this worked. If you were in the Midwest, the closest team, which at the time here was the Columbus Crew, they owned Michigan, they owned Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, Wisconsin. As far as if you were a developmental athlete, if you had moved, let's say Aiden's playing and we moved to Texas, he goes to the Texas team, the particular one, we'll say FC Dallas, just for the sake of so, and they say, hey, we want him. They would actually have to pay Columbus a fee, even though Columbus didn't even know he existed.
Wow.
And now, because they have the MLS Next Kids, which is up to 48 kids on a roster, okay, they're allowed to have 56, meaning there are 6 kids that are outside of that have nothing to do with them. It could be Aiden, could be any other kid, and they're able to say, we have his rights.
Oh
no, it's unbelievable.
And again, I can't pronounce the name here, but in 3 years, they were weighing in again. In 3 years, the World Cup in football will be in Canada and the United States. I would like to come.
And you should. It's going to also be in Mexico as well. The stadiums that are being selected are phenomenal. You have Monterrey's that is going to be one. That one, you have the overlooking a mountain. It's built into a mountain. They're using, of course, stadiums like SoFi and some of the others that are just true testaments of really, architecture, real, at its core. But as far as the leagues here, the way that, you brought up that it's a joint World Cup, I believe here very soon we will have some similarity between, because there's a Canadian Premier League, which is very, very small. You have, again, Liga MX. They have a CONCACAF Champions League right now, but it would not surprise me in the slightest to see Liga MX and MLS somehow really kind of get together and to form one league.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I do too. This is why,
because that'll help increase the talent level, and for that matter, hopefully increased the maybe participation level. I think on a national stage, giving it more prominence on the radar. I tell you what, with the politicization of the NFL and the NBA, I could tell that other sports fans would probably appreciate another league like the MLB, NHL, or MLS taking more, getting more attention. Now, I don't agree with that, but I could tell that I feel like it would be embraced.
Because I'm interested to find out right quick. Well, I know we didn't get to talk about this right either. I'll throw it out here. Boston winning game 6. I think it's a wrap for Miami, and that's going to be the biggest collapse in any sports history. But I actually was watching the Vegas Knights and the Dallas Stars. I'm curious to know, because have you noticed that the NHL playoff games have kind of like been right next to NBA playoff games?
Yes.
And I'm getting the feeling that the NHL games are drawing a little bit more noticeability in some of these NBA playoff games, to tell you the truth. Now, you know what I mean? I really found that interesting. Like, how's this game on at the same time as the NBA playoffs? Because they don't really do that kind of stuff when it comes to football.
You're right.
Football is king in this country. So
well, you got no other postseason. Yeah, you don't really have any other postseasons going on at the same time. And basketball and hockey for decades now have always started around the same time. They play roughly the same amount of games, even preseason. But to your point though, for having those playoff games up against NBA playoffs games are remarkable. But let me explain something to you why I'm so fascinated, and I really want to dive more into hockey. All right. I got to remember to check. Did Vegas Golden Knights win? Have they advanced to the Stanley Cup final?
No, I think it's the Golden Knights.
Well, Florida had so far.
Yeah, Florida. No. The Golden Knights and the Dallas Stars are playing right now.
What is it? Is it 3-2?
It might be.
Well,
last time I checked, it was 3-1.
Yeah,
right.
It was 3-2 after Game 5 yesterday. So
okay, so go Vegas Golden Knights. They need to get themselves together, because Dallas is definitely looking at what Boston pulled off. But here's the thing: if the Golden Knights advance to the Stanley Cup Finals, that will be the second Stanley Cup final appearance in the franchise's existence, and the franchise is, I don't even think, 6 years old. Matter of fact, they went to the Stanley Cup final in their first year of existence.
Yeah, but there's something going on in Vegas, period.
Well, here's the other thing too. Here's the other thing too.
The Raiders went over there and bought a brand new toilet for a stadium, and now the Oakland A's are going over there and they getting ready to get a stadium.
You missing my point.
No, the point is that
no, you missed my point completely.
California.
No, you missed my point completely. No, because the Seattle Sea Dragons, I didn't even know Seattle had a team. They also went deep into the playoffs. They ain't got nothing to do with Vegas. In the same way that you're
to my Seattle Kraken.
The Kraken, I'm sorry, the Kraken, right?
Yeah. Oh wow.
So, well, what's the difference? Where's the dragon at? In the sea, right? The Kraken. All right, my bad. You got me. No, it's fair. It's fair. Yeah, but the point is, the idea of it is, hockey presents so much parody, right? Parody that we're dying for in any other sport, that it's pretty cool if we could if we get more attention to it. Because playoff hockey, man, the atmosphere behind it, bro, the attention, like you could feel the energy even on the TV. You could feel it watching it, man. So I really like playoff hockey.
Yeah, so do I. Hey, listen, unfortunately, we got to wrap things up here. As you know, we normally, when we were on Wednesday nights, we would just roll and roll, as good conversation is supposed to make you lose track of time. But I do have other obligations and things I need to get to. Need to change my lighting too. I don't know what's going on here with my lighting, a little bit dark on the dark side, but there are a few things I wasn't able to get to in terms of the show topics, but we will be, as we said again before, we appreciate all of you all who support and follow us. This is our first Sunday with the new show day and change. So bear with us, please, moving forward. But on that note, I leave you today without a quote. But it's been fun. We got to run. Don't forget to check us out every Sunday now at 12 p.m. right here on the Yard. Okay. Or y'all can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the shop's fan page, and of course YouTube. And make sure when you go to YouTube, you hit that subscribe button, that little notification bell, ding ding. We'd be much obliged. And if that don't work, y'all can Google it. For my mans B Rich, Double J, D Gully, TJ, and all those who follow and support us, we say thank you. I'm Barbershop Jay, and you've been listening to the Shop Report. And remember, Double J, my bad. I wasn't able to get to that stuff in there. And remember, the next time y'all want to know what's really going on, and come to the shop. Walk-ins are always welcome. Holla.